Hello and welcome to the Trading Wife Stock Chat. I just want to thank BTFD TV for giving me this lovely venue to share my thoughts on all things market and stocks. So this is kind of an experiment today because we're just trying this for the first time, and yikes. I have too many things going on here. I made the mistake of putting the actual show on another window, so that's kind of what started to come on. Anyhow, want to share this with my trading room. Hopefully the members of my chat room are here and are watching, and I'm going to wait to hear from them in the chat room. Hopefully they're going to start putting up some ideas that they'd like to see charted. I'm not really sure how the group chat here in the room works. I think you can sign in and just chat right on the program here, and I think that might be more in real time. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused by that. So Jack and I didn't get the chance to. Or rather, I didn't get the chance to ask him all the questions I wanted to. But we're going to do this, and we're going to do this show, and we're going to do it as an experiment. So I am now going to screen share a chart with you. And is that working? Okay, there it is. Hopefully you all can see the chart here. This is the chart of Costco, C-O-S-T, which Gigi just pointed out in the room that this was in a bearish M pattern. You can see that here. I'm not really sure what you call an M with three tops. It's kind of a three-topped M, and clearly has lost this level of support, this trend line in here, as well as the 50-day moving average. So I think, you know, everything that's coming out to you guys is a little bit delayed. So when I'm seeing Sylvan write in the chat room that he's here, I think he's just watching. And I see that you say that the chart is up. So that's cool. Again, I know it's a little bit delayed. I think there must be a way for me to invite you all into the room so that we can do the, right on the broadcast, you can do the group chat. But I haven't figured that out yet. So we'll do this in the meantime. Please feel free to put tickers in the chat room, and I will be happy to look at them and put those up. So moving right along here, taking a look at markets. The SPY. Okay, there it is. Took another leg down this morning, took a gap down, and hold on one second here, I need to answer somebody, I think. I guess I can't. So taking another look here at the SPY, we took another leg down, we gapped down from yesterday's close, we can gap down from yesterday's low even to open lower. Sort of got bumped back up a little bit, but we're still trading at the low of this day here at this point. There's lots of channels and trend lines in here that we're still holding. So, you know, really we're in this channel here. This has sort of two trend lines because it had that one that it lost in October. The good news is we're still, you know, well above the October low. We're still above the 200-day moving average. It's not looking like the end of the world here yet. It's certainly bearish, no question about it. I'm wearing my bear suit. I'm not putting on any longs, and I'm actually looking at shorts. I've scanned some stocks to the short side over here. So taking a look at some of those, these are just stocks that are losing the ADMA. Here's, you know, this is a trader's bearish best friend here with yesterday's doji, followed by this gap down today. So this could certainly be shorted. You figure it's going to probably tag the 50-day moving average. It's not a huge move, but that tends to be the way with shorts. They go fast, and so you don't tend to get as big of a move as you can to the upside. I personally would rather just stay in cash, which I tend to do, so I find that easier to do. This CL here has this support in here, but again, it's lost all its major trend lines. It's probably heading down to the 200 at 66.91. It's lost the 50 and the 8-day and is in a bearish H pattern. ESV, it's an oil company, another energy company. Some energy companies are doing okay today. Some of them have clearly lower to go. I would say this one is probably going to come down and tag this low at the very least at 25.88. So that could certainly be shorted for some decent risk reward. It's losing that little trend line there. ADMA is at 28.76. So you have a much bigger drop to the downside than you do for your, if you wanted to put a stop in there just above the T line. Again, you know, I'm not great at shorting. I think it goes too fast for one thing. Shorts tend to be quick, and they tend to be for smaller gains, and it's really not my bag. But there are definitely some poor looking charts in here. Interestingly, when I go to scan for volume pickup, I find a lot, actually more stronger charts. There's that ADVS rather that I posted in the chat room when I first looked at it this morning. It was in the 33s. I reposted it. It was already up at 35 something. Some of these biotech stocks look pretty decent. Let's see what y'all are saying in the room. You were hoping for the bikini look. Well, I don't have the bikini look, but I can give you me. Hold on. Me. Yay! Here I am. No bikinis. Believe me, you don't want to see me in a bikini, JJ. I have gotten way too out of shape to see me in a bikini. The bear suit, yes, well, definitely a bear suit. I could definitely wear a bear suit. Glad to know that you all can hear me. Yes, that's right, I'm delayed. So let's see here. We want to take a look at ATHX. I'm just going to look up the chat here and see if there are any other questions before this doesn't look like it. So ATHX you would like to see. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Here we go. That's a nice looking chart. Kind of low volume. Well, yeah, especially for a $2 chart. Yeah, I personally wouldn't trade this. It's a $2 chart. You can see it only, has about very little volume. Average 280, 270 something. I recognize that this month that it has come in with some big volume in here, and it's a beautiful J-hook pattern, and you can certainly see that right in there. And it's also a great looking little pennant in here. It's a great looking chart, but it's very, very low priced for the amount of volume that it has, and I would not feel comfortable doing that. Yes, I have seen Gigi's. No, we were looking at cost before. This is COH. Look at that. Can I guess I probably can. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can share Gigi's chart. I'm not sure how that will work. Yeah. Okay, so you all see Gigi's chart now. Is that? And let's see, I'll move that up. It's a very big chart. So it's okay, there you probably see that now. Is that correct? So let's see here. No, it's not. It's too big for that. Okay, So bearish engulfing with stochastics overbought and follow through Thursday. So there's the bearish engulfing. There's the follow through, right, with the lower today. Stochastics. It's so hard for me to use this chart because it's too big for my screen here. Okay, I'm going to actually go back to my chart because this is hard. It's a great chart, but it's hard for me to use it on this screen share. So let's go back over here. And you definitely can see it here, right? There's that bearish engulfing. And I think GG meant follow through today, which is actually Wednesday. But definitely a bearish chart. You have the 34 there, which has acted as support before. But it's so bearish that I would say it's an easy short. Hold on, before I go saying that, let me take a better look here. 37.56 is the 8 EMA, so that's where you would put your stop. You could target the 50 at 35.83. You know, it's 1-to-1, so it's a tough one to chart, but certainly a tough one to go short, I think, at this stage. But it's certainly a bearish chart, along with a lot of other charts out there. I'm really surprised, actually, about what happened with, let's see, let me go back to, I'll get used to this eventually. This is the first time of me doing this, so it's going to take some time. How do I get back to me? Me. No. No, how does this work? Try this again. Oh dear, I don't know how to get back to me. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, well, this was, How do I get back to my face here? No, that's not it. I was doing it before just fine, back and forth, back and forth. And now I can't. All right, well, this is part of the experiment of doing this here and trying to figure out how this all works. Whoops. Did you lose me? Am I still on? Or did I just disappear? It says I'm still live, right? So I'm just not seeing me again. So no idea how I lost that or how to get it back, unfortunately. So we'll just go back to the charts and oh, that's okay. It's all a learning experience here. It's our first time, so hopefully we'll get better at it as time goes on. UNP. So, I mean, all these charts are bearish, right? It's really hard to say anything other than this is all in a downtrend. Obviously, you have these dumpling tops in here, or the H patterns as they were. Certainly, it has the level of support here with this downtrending line, but it has stopped there a couple times before. But it still has continued down from this top level, which is interesting, right? Because you would think that some companies must be benefiting from oil. I was actually really surprised by the retail numbers because I would have expected folks to spend their gas money over the holidays. I certainly did. So I'm surprised that other folks didn't. This downtrending, sort of a descending wedge actually as you pull out. So, on a certainly on a more zoomed in basis, this is a bearish chart. But when you pull out, it has a long ways to go before it's a bearish chart. It's come up a very long way. It's been clearly in an uptrend. It's been clearly bullish, but now it has this sort of descending wedge pattern. How long this continues is, anyone's guess. If the markets just continue lower and earnings don't come in well and people stay bearish, this could lose this and continue lower, or just continue down the channel until it reaches the 200-day moving average before it starts to move back to the upside of that little wedge there. But this could be a descending wedge pattern that eventually becomes higher, or it could be a topping pattern. I know that's just giving you all the same stuff that I keep repeating, which is pretty much anything could go either way. And so all we can do is read these candlesticks the best that we can, look at these patterns, and try to determine what's bullish and what's bearish. That's the beauty behind buy signals and sell signals. You just don't even have to think about it too much further than that. You either have a buy signal or a sell signal. And for example, in here in Apple, you can see there were several buy signals. They ended up getting negated. I mean, I got caught in it too, right? I bought Apple. The whole market gave us a buy signal. But it has been very, very whipsaw, the market in general. So, while this doesn't look like it's that whipsaw maybe because it's just sort of zigging and zagging over multiple days, what we have seen in the trading room and discussing it as it goes are that these days are whipsaw. They chop intraday. My experience with that is that the market's getting ready to move in one direction or the other seriously. Seeing as, we're just keep continuing down, there's nothing for me to do but to wear my bear suit. This at this point on the S&P is a sell signal. Yesterday's candle turned into this sort of long-legged spinning top thing, and today gapped down and is continuing lower with a Marubozu candle. So this is clearly bearish. This is clearly an H pattern in here. This has lost, no, it hasn't lost that yet. Is it still on this trend, on this little trend here? No, it's lost that. So, it's probably heading, oh, maybe it's not, hasn't lost it. It's right there. But I would still say that it's probably heading to at least the 200-day or possibly the bottom of this channel that it topped in October. Everybody talks about, including Bigelow, talks about the targets being these moving averages, but they rarely are. I think that they often create resistance. You can definitely see when they're rejected there. But for the most part, when they dip through, they generally don't stop right on it. They'll generally dip through. The only one that really works, I think, in that sense is the ADMA. And that's what makes the ADMA so amazing. Stocks tend to go up when they stay above and will often come down, dip, touch it, and continue higher. And it's the same thing when they're going down. Once they close low, they might come up, touch it, dip lower, come up, touch it, dip lower. So you can see that it does that consistently with the ADMA. And that's what's so amazing about the ADMA. And my hat goes off to Rick Sadler, whom I've spoken to all of once. But I think that it was a great observation on his part, and I think the way that it's been implemented by him and by Stephen Bigelow and by myself and by Gigi, it's really an amazing tool. And I urge anyone who is still skeptical about the ADMA to just take a look at charts with the ADMA on it, because it's definitely a really, really, really tool. UNP has an inverted cup and handle. Yeah, absolutely. You could say that. Or maybe a little head and shoulder. I mean, it's bearish. There was something you mentioned yesterday. Oh, was it SPY? Yeah, it was SPY. Oh, I see. This is definitely a cup and handle. More than a head and shoulders pattern, because these are almost the same, right? It's not really. But definitely, I definitely see that cup and handle. that inverted cup and handle, as it were. It's a bearish pattern. I mean, look at it. It's just bearish. But it's holding a lot of levels of support. So it's why I'm not comfortable going short. You just never know where that's going to stop. I know a lot of people are bearish because of all the things going on in the economy. Oil has been, clearly practically in free fall. And other stuff has been following suit, more so than even I think we expected. And that's brought a lot of volatility into the market. People are scared. Obviously, this volatility trade is just, not happy, and keeps putting me in a difficult spot here. And I really feel that all I can do is hold on, because it will eventually bottom, and I see no reason to take a huge loss like this. It's very rare that I do something like that, and I'm going to definitely rethink the whole strategy once I get out of this trade. But the idea behind volatility still remains. It can only stay so high, right? When you look at the VIX overall, this is a strong pattern for the VIX. It has certainly done that before. The VIX was even higher in October, and XIV was lower in October, and SPY was lower in October. And we've seen patterns like this before where we think, oh my gosh, look, it's almost the same pattern back in February, March, April, where we had this really big spike, and then it spiked a couple more times, and everybody thought, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Go long volatility, we're going to stay high volatility, and then what happened? Crash. So it happens every time. And if you look back on this VIX, it can't stay at peaks for very long. It just can't. It's just the nature of volatility. It's the nature of people. None of us can handle being afraid all the time for any length of period of time before we, have a heart attack and die. So eventually you either get used to things and you learn to cope and adapt, or you have a heart attack and die. Okay, so I should not go through. Let's talk about, I think you mean Google, not GG, OGL. So let's take a look. Oh, come on. Google. There you go. Daily chart here. I know Raj brought up this morning that it was strong. Certainly, it's some decent candles in here. You have this hammer at the bottom and the gap up, and you have this candle today trying to be bullish, engulfing to yesterday's doji. But what do we see here? This red line is my ADMA. What is it having problems getting through? This is what I keep talking about, is why this ADMA is so amazing. If a stock is below, if a chart is below the ADMA, you don't want to be in it, because chances are it's still going to go lower. Until this closes above that ADMA, chances are it's still going to go lower. So looking at this on a longer time frame, even on the weekly, this doesn't look great. It looks like it's topping. It looks like it's toppling over. So it certainly has a lot of room to go down, because it's been overbought for quite some time. I think that people, I remember when Tom Sosnoff didn't think this could hit 300. It was shorting it all the way from 200 to 300, and now it's sitting up here above 500. It's pretty high. So this could just be a natural correction for this stock, for this company. Oh, this isn't even the original. This is the original. All right, so it's not over 500. It's close. It was over 500. It was over 600, for God's sake. So definitely just, for me, stay on the sidelines, not buy anything long at this point, and look to find exits on my volatility trade as soon as I get them. I am sort of kicking myself for not getting out when I was actually in a profit with the XIB. Where was that? Look, like up in here, I was in a profit, right? Or up in here, I had lost, and then I was in a profit. Wait, this is a weekly, so let's get back to the daily. Since this bottom in October, up in here, I was in a profit, but it was only like 1%, and I thought it was going to go higher because we were just breaking out. And when it lost that, I continued to hold on, and that's probably where I should have gotten out at like a 3-4% loss. because now I'm stuck again, and I'm going to wait until it gets back up there. I can tell you that as soon as I hit break even this time around, having learned this lesson, I will take most of it off. I might keep like a half a position or something like that to see if it goes any higher with some low risk to try and actually make money off the trade. But at this point, I'll be happy getting out at break even. That's not to say I don't still think that volatility is going to collapse. I do. I believe it wholeheartedly. So let's not think that I don't think that I don't believe that. I do. Just clearly this has gone the wrong way for me for a period of time. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not emotional about it. It is what it is. CSTMA. Ooh, oh, that's pretty. Aluminum. Putting money in aluminum. What was some of that other? Was that other aluminum stock? What are some of the other aluminum stocks? Aluminum. Okay, that's big. CNX. Oh, that one's not doing well. So that's interesting. So it's not about the sector, maybe. It's just about that CSTM. Oh, nor was the other one I was thinking of. I've made money on that stock. No, that definitely does not look good, does it? What's the aluminum index? Is there one here? Yeah, MG 133. So aluminum does not look good overall. It's just down. So that's really impressive. That's a beautiful rounded bottom. It's I would call that actually a fry pan bottom, because it has this big candle in here today. So that's breaking out of that. Still has that level to break out of, and it hasn't done that. But I mean, it's through the 50-day moving average. That's a nice chart, right? Did they report today or something? I wonder. AA, is that a request for Alcoa? And these guys supposedly beat, right? Yeah, that's the other aluminum. Sure. Yeah, not good. Get off island alive. Funny. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to unscreen share this again. No. No. Sigh. Still trying to figure out. I'm just going to keep talking here because y'all should know that I'm still here. Trying to figure out how to get back to my camera. I can't seem to figure that out. So this is an interesting phenomenon that it won't do that. Huh. Nope, I can't seem to get out of this screen share. I was doing it before, so I'm not really sure. I can't figure out how I got stuck here or why that's not working. Oh, look at that. See, ask your audience to submit questions, and they will. This is all an experiment. We're just learning how to do this. And it's a good learning experience. Chat. Okay, so I have chat, screen share, showcase, which I've tried as well, question and answer, which I just did, which isn't helping because you can't see the chart. Oh, now that's not what you want to see either. All right, there's the chart. And la, 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 la. No, I have another camera on. That's why I was on it in the beginning. If the camera's on, it's not about the camera. It's that I can't get out of the. It's that I can't get out of the screen share, and I can't figure out why that is. But oh well. I think it's probably a good time to call this our first 30-minute show, and it's going to be on YouTube. So, and it will be on the BTFD TV website, and you can go back and see what we talked about before. I guess let's take a quick look at the silver stock, Pan American Silver Company. So this is going to be on my chopping block today. It's not holding up, although it's still above the 80 MA. I just think everything looks really bearish, right? How's even gold is bearish, right? No, gold's hanging in there. Let's look at GG, because GG's been pretty. But no, bearish engulfing yesterday. A lot of these gold doesn't look good, does it? How's that nugget looking? Oof. Lost the 80 MA. Boy, you did a great trade on that nugget, GG. That was amazing. You didn't lose that level at all with that, doing that day trade. That was exceptional. Look at this FANG. FANG is definitely breaking out, which is interesting, right? Because it's in that energy space. So how's the MTDR? It still has that look, right, that we said earlier, that's definitely a look. So it's something worth watching. It's interesting that these oil stocks, a lot of these energy stocks are setting up, right? Because maybe that's a hint to us that oil is truly getting ready to find a bottom. Oil is up a bit today. And I had noticed that the oil stocks were ahead or behind the actual oil movement. So for a while, oil stocks were up when the days that oil was down, and they were down when the days that oil were up. Like they were following it, lagging by a day. And today I'm seeing these energy stocks looking decent, right? This is a bullish pattern in here, putting in. And as well as that FANG, right, breaking out. And oil is also up a bit. So that's interesting that it's up with the underlying commodity, and I wonder if that's marking a change. I don't know. Change meaning perhaps the bottom of oil. Certainly not going to speculate that. Clearly oil looks like it's going to zero, which won't, but not looking good, along with a lot of other stuff. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye since I can't get back to my face here for whatever reason. I don't know if something happened with the camera. It should not have. But, let's see, I don't see my face in here either. Okay, give me a second. Let me just take a quick look and make sure everything's plugged in. Maybe that is it. You never know, right? I'm just going to keep talking as I check all the plugs here. No, everything's plugged in. Everything is plugged in, so I don't know why it's not working. We'll just have to figure it out another time. I will talk to Jack Barnes and see if I can figure out what I did wrong. But in the meantime, we certainly turn camera on, turn camera off. No, turn camera on is on. But for some reason, I can't make this work, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, we're going to call it, and we will try this again soon. We were going to try and make this a once-a-week thing on Wednesdays, but hopefully I can figure out how this works better so in this awkward position. Do you currently see the FANG chart backwards? Is that weird or what? There you go. Oh boy, this is some weird stuff going on. Okay, I just need to get used to how this all works. Thanks for coming by, guys. I hope that it was somewhat helpful and educational, and we'll get better with this. Talk to you in the chat room. Bye.